We've got some lovely pot here from our Forester's Forest excavations completed recently up on Ruardean Hill. All of this pot has come from a Roman ditch, and I'm having fun piecing it back together. What's really intriguing about this pot, and most of the sherds in these 5 trays are from just one vessel, is that when we first started cleaning it, we noticed a little hole in one of the sherds. Seemed far too regular to be a random hole. We thought, ooh, maybe it's been drilled. About an hour later or so, out came this funny fragment here. Now this is part of a lead pot mend. Let me show you how it works. Here's the outside of the body of the pot. Here's a sort of big coarse strip of lead, a couple of rivets there, and a nice thin bar on the outside. And if we put it on and jiggle it about a bit, you'll see it's a perfect fit. Now later on the same day, we found another piece, almost identical, lead pot mend, strip of lead, thick strip of lead on the back, 2 rivets, thin strip of lead on the front. So this is a pot that somebody's gone to a great deal of time and effort to repair. But why? It's a bit of a puzzle because the pot itself isn't actually that nice. It's not a particularly fancy or expensive import. Believe it or not, because it doesn't look particularly black or particularly burnished, it's a type of Roman black burnished ware. This is southwest black burnished ware. It often has a buff surface, and the soil conditions on this site have kind of eaten away at the surface and taken off most of the sort of dark burnished slip. It's got some unusual lattice decorations on it as well. At first I thought that they were kind of horizontal bands coming along here, waving. I couldn't figure it out until I realised I was looking at the whole thing the wrong way up. And what we've actually got is near vertical lines going down the pot, and there's a slight angle, and then zigzags running between them. That's quite an unusual style of decoration for this piece, but luckily there's an almost identical pot that's been excavated in Exeter from sort of early 2nd century AD context. So we've got a fairly good idea, good parallels, and a good idea that this pot was manufactured down in the southwest, somewhere in the early 2nd century AD. The next part of the job is doing the jigsaw puzzle to work out exactly how much of this vessel we've got and how it all fitted back together. But given that it wasn't a particularly special pot, why on earth did someone go to all the trouble of repairing it? Well, there are 2 reasons you might repair a pot. Firstly, you might repair it because it's particularly valuable, but as I've said, these weren't particularly rare or highly valued in the Roman period. The other reason is supply. Now this is a site right up on the hill in a fairly remote part of the Forest of Dean today. It must have been equally tricky to get to in Roman times. And if you're a long way away from the nearest markets, and potentially weeks away from the nearest travelling trader coming anywhere near you, then you might have to repair a pot just out of sheer necessity. So over the next few weeks we'll be having a look at this and all the other pottery from the site. Stay tuned and we'll keep you posted.